Hey, what is going on, everybody? I thought my audio was fixed. Mark said he's got a little weird stuff going on, but I thought we had the audio problems fixed. I think we do. If everybody can hear me, good. I am Boxman. This is Wrestling Outlet. Of course, across from me is.
Voice of generation.
All right. All right. He says we sound okay, so let's just fucking do this. Yeah. Fuck yeah. We're going to fucking do this. Hell yeah. So what's been going on, man? Not much. Nah. I'm with you, man. Been kind of been a little slow here too, but we're working on it. Trying to get things moving, trying to get things going, but yeah. My fucking lawnmower keeps breaking on me, but that's okay.
Euthanizing?
Fucking belt keeps coming off. Like I'll hit a stick and next thing you know, the belt pops off. And I've gotten a new belt, but it's still doing the same fucking thing. So I don't know.
Have you
I'm gonna see what I can.
tried not sticks? Like you pick them up first?
It's. Oh, I know why you're getting the echo. My speaker's on.
Perhaps. Okay, that'd be
I'll
great.
bet
That'd
you.
be great. That's why I don't have self.
You probably have no echo anymore. Probably not. I didn't know that, but yeah, you should have no echo now. I didn't realize my speaker was on over there, but
Listen. You're gonna call in. YouTube radio.
exactly. I know. No, I was watching AEW before this, so it just I had the speaker on, but yeah, it should be much better now. But yeah, it's just my grass is so high because we've had so much rain out here. I can't see the sticks until I'm hitting the stick. But anyway, we'll get it worked out. I'll get it fixed. Meanwhile, I know how easy now I know how to put my belt back on, so it's all right. It's all right. It says you're still echoing pretty bad. Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's my fault or not. I can try refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, you are a little bit. So I guess I don't know. I can't fix if you're echoing. I guess he's gonna restart. I can't fix if he's echoing. I can only fix if I'm echoing. So sorry about that, everybody. But we've got we've got a bunch of different stuff to get into. Some of the stuff we're going to be pretty quick about because some of the stuff it's just kind of from last week that we're going to update you on. Like we talked last week about the Miz going to be hosting American Gladiators. Well, now we have the whole roster of the Gladiators. So Smark is back. We'll see what's going on with all that. We've got a bunch of stuff that we're going to be getting into though. Now, Smark, usually we start with, if we have a death, we usually start with that. So we're going to go the opposite. We're going to start with life being brought into this world. So there you go. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to start that with RVD and Katie Forbes, folks, have done it. RVD, 54 years old, and they have announced they are having a baby, the next WWE superstar, as you see. So, yeah, let him know if he's still echoing when he talks. So,
I didn't hear it at first. Damn it, no. Still.
oh, now you're just really low, and you shouldn't be because I got you pretty cranked up over here. So, give yourself some volume, dude. All right, you figure that out. But yeah, 54 years old, and Rob Van Dam is having is going to have a baby with this lady. So he says you're low and echoing. Maybe I can fix that. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, I don't think I'm tried a couple of things. Tried.
1648. Hold on. Let me try something here.
shouldn't be low anymore. I fixed that. But the echo. Okay. I don't hear an echo anymore, but now I also don't.
There we go. All right, it just lost connection for a second. I'm back. All right, so there we go. I'm back. All right, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Smark, Rob Van Dam, 54 years old, having a baby. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Ever for as it continues. And at what age start to become selfish? I guess ultimately selfish. After a while, you're not to give the kid time.
Very true, and I agree. It's like, you know, De Niro having kids like at 70 some years old. It is a little selfish and weird, but you know, 54. Yeah, you know, he could live to 80 something maybe and still get 30 good years. You know, you got to try to think that way.
I suppose. I mean, it seems relatively healthy, especially for
Oh shit! He says he thinks the echo got worse. The only thing I could try is restarting my computer. I could give it a shot and see if it does anything real quick, and we'll just have to do another. I mean, we just started, not like we're so far into this. We'll just have to do another link. Or actually, we can restart this one, can't we? Well, if I restart, you'll still be in here.
I will still, yes.
So hold on a sec. Let me do something here. And yeah, let me do that. Let me restart my computer and see if it was an issue with my computer, and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. It takes about 30-45 seconds to start my computer back up. I'll be right back.
I got you.
Don't go anywhere.
And away he goes. See if the echo is any better anymore. Is gone, non-existent. What are we doing? How are we sounding? I can't tell because I can't hear me. What do we think of? And now that he's gone, I think it's time to do it.
It's another one! Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared, you better be aware. It's a nightmare, you better run away. If you just can't stay, if you wanna save the day. It's another one! It's shining white, it's not like an angel. More like a devil, not small like a pebble. More like a mountain that's swung to hold it very cold. It's an avalanche. It's an avalanche. It's an avalanche. It's an avalanche.
There we go. The echo is gone, apparently. The echo was coming from Box's cavernous vagina. How about that? And of course, it is an avalanche. Let's see if I play this one.
Silence in the fucking peanut gallery! That's fucking right! Tonight, Amanda Storm, the queen of the fucking world, is wrestling some little skinny anorexic cunt named Candy. Well, Candy, I'm gonna rip your fucking spine out. I'm gonna put it in chocolate and put it in a little box. And then I'm gonna eat it, and then I'm gonna suck on your fucking tits till all the blood comes out, and then I'm gonna rape you and make you have my fucking undead children, cause I'm gonna kill you! Ah! Ah! Ah!
So the whole time I was gone, you just played shit. Is that what you did?
No, I haven't. That was the only thing I played. That was the only thing I played. Oh, goddamn the echoes.
All right. Well,
To racism.
better to me. Is the echo still there? I don't know.
Oh, when you left, it was gone.
Yeah, it might have been something with me. Like I did get a new sound card to get rid of that other weird stuff that was going on the computer. So my new sound card might be a little weird, but hopefully everything's good now. I restarted. Everything should be good. Smark's a little louder to me now. Of course, now I lose. Now we're both gone. But anyway, oh, I think I lost internet for a second. That's what happened.
Could be.
The echo came back with me. So what could it be? Let me check settings here.
Because I didn't have any problems. I didn't see problems.
All right, let me try that. Turn on the echo cancellation. Maybe that'll help.
There's only one way to find out.
There is only one way to find out. There
Yay!
is,
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
No.
Okay, so good. Maybe we're good.
Absolutely sure. Chinaman.
What? Wait, what? All right.
Check.
Oh my Lord, I don't know what's going on here right now. I have no clue. But all right, well, I guess we'll roll back with this. Let's just keep going. And yeah. Jeez. All right. We'll just keep rolling here. Hopefully everything's fine. So I guess the whole time I was not here, Smark was playing videos of.
When I was talking about American Gladiators, I was talking about American Gladiators and what that means to us. We're talking about some Thunder, Nitro. What were the other ones? There's a couple of female ones.
Yeah, there is, but yeah, we will get to the American Gladiators in a minute. But once again, all right. So we got RVD. He's having they're having a baby. We got that done, and now let's go on to Smark. Let's go on to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan had a little problem the other day on Raw. It was her and Io Sky in a match, and there was a little faux pas, if you will. She put her hands down and just landed wrong, and apparently dislocated her shoulder. You can see here she's just right over the shoulder and screaming in pain right away. Grabbed her arm. She got carried out of the ring. So, yeah, pretty rough for Liv. Saying now she could be out anywhere from 3 to maybe 4 to 6 months. But they've had to change a lot for Evolution due to her getting hurt, because I guess she's been pretty heavily storylined, building up to Evolution. So she's more than likely going to be out, though. So that sucks. But what really shocked me is Rhea Ripley had a break character and tell people not to bully her, be mean over her getting hurt, and celebrate her injury. Fucking internet's weird, man. Internet's fucking weird.
Boy, is it ever.
Fucking weird, man. It really is. But yeah, they had to change a few plans. But yeah, I mean, literally the people were celebrating. Oh, good. I'm glad she got hurt. What the fuck is wrong, people? Come on now. Shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, that was a pretty rough. And I mean, it didn't look like anything that anybody else wouldn't be able to do. She just looks like she just came down wrong. I mean, you see here, just boom, just comes down the wrong way, screaming as soon as she hits the ground. So, and there's not a lot they can do for a dislocated shoulder.
No.
basically just
Drop
has
this
to work
shit
its
back in.
way back in. Well, you're really not even supposed to do that. You're supposed to just let it kind of go back in. I mean, this isn't fucking best of the best. Pop it, Tommy. Pop it. No, this isn't best of the best. Okay, where Eric Roberts is talking to Tommy. Oh God, I do love that movie though.
I have not seen
Never seen Best of the Best.
what can I say? I'm uncultured.
Eric Roberts, fucking not Sean Penn, Chris Penn, the late great Chris Penn.
I see.
I mean, I'm not saying the wrong brother passed away, but let's not even bring it up. Let's
Hey,
leave it. I mean, I would never say that.
great
Never.
this year, so I don't know why anyone would be happy she's out.
I agree. She had, but there were. I mean, like I said, Rhea had to literally come out of character to say, "Please don't celebrate her injury." That's pretty sad.
She's great is pretty charitable. We're not happy, so the movie was great, or one of the actors is great. I can't recall. Saying that he's not going to give you great.
All right, you say so, but
Well, he said so. I didn't say so. I've never seen.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. It was him. It wasn't you. Wasn't you.
So,
And, she has been though. She's probably her. I mean, last year and this year are probably her best couple of years. Hey, don't be fucking with Chris Penn now. We had some really good movies with Chris Penn. You got to admit it. Rush Hour, Reservoir Dogs.
I didn't like Reservoir Dogs, if I'm being honest.
You didn't like Reservoir Dogs?
It's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so there's like 80 minutes of talking and then like 3 minutes of things actually happening. But
but that made that movie. That's what made that movie great. Was the dialogue in it. It's like Glengarry Glen Ross. That's what makes that movie great, is the fact that there's so much dialogue. See, even she says that movie was awesome. And Reservoir Dogs was a very good movie with him in it. But he was also in Best of the Best 2, but he got killed by Brackus, who was being introduced by...
Mr. T?
No, Brackus.
B.A. Brooks?
I don't know. But he was being introduced by Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton was the villain in this movie, as he is in most movies he's in. This, Ford Fairlane. Best of the Best 2. Not the greatest of them. There's 4 of them, folks. Just so you know, there's 4. I always thought there were only 2. There are 4. 4 Best of the Best. I have not seen 3 and 4. I just can't bring myself to watch them. There you go, Cheese. Coffee is for closers. Glengarry Glen Ross. I watched that last weekend. It really is a good movie. Pacino has some of the absolute greatest. Usually when I do a Hollywood hangout and I do the intense scenes, something from that movie gets played. It's either Alec Baldwin was in that movie for 10 fucking minutes and stole the fucking scene. So, but Pacino had some great lines, yelling at Kevin Spacey and stuff like that. Really good stuff in that movie. Really good stuff in that movie. But I love that movie. I'm in sales, so you got to watch it. Everyone told me to watch it back when I was even starting in sales. Oh, you got to watch Glengarry Glen Ross. You got to watch Glengarry Glen Ross. Oh, you got to watch Glenn. So I watched it, and I loved it. Not for the reasons everybody else did, but I liked that movie a lot. But anyway, let's
see Glengarry Glen Ross. And there was that one scene where it's like, I think it was like Kevin Spacey or whatever. He's just like the one that's like the incompetent one. He says something really fucking stupid. Like Al Pacino just looks over at him and goes, "Whose nephew are you?" It's like there's no other reason why you would be here. It's like it just has to be fucking nepotism.
He laid into him in there. He's like, "I don't care whose nephew you are, whose dick you're sucking. Fuck you." I mean, he went off. on him. I mean, really, really went off on that fucking guy. Oh, insurance. Oh, there you go. He's just going to be an insurance agent. There you go. Good stuff, man. And that is basically sales, but not real estate sales, especially the one that they were doing in that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross, is really it's a different breed. I mean, they're not selling real estate, they're selling land. There's nothing there. It's just land and timeshares. They were selling timeshares too, land and timeshares. So that's a really tough one. That's a tough
Hasn't
one.
anybody under the age of like 57 ever bought a timeshare?
I don't know. Dude, a lot of people get scammed into that shit. They go on vacation, you get the free, come on, you get a free lunch, you get a free this. We'll give you a fucking, we'll give you an iPod. Whatever it is, they scam you in. And then next thing you know, you put one signature on paper and you're fucked. But a lot of people do get scammed into buying those. They really do. I never have, but I do know a lot of people get scammed into buying those things.
Okay, so when you say you never have, does it mean like you show up for the free lunch or whatever, then you just peace out? Like, is this something that you've done?
A couple times. I think when we were when I was in the Bahamas once, me and my buddy did it. They were giving away. It was like 4 or 5 free drinks if you went to the seminar. So we went. And we got the vouchers for the drinks, and they gave you a card. They punched a hole in the card every time you got a drink. I think it was 5 drinks. And yeah, we just we both knew, do not sign anything, and we didn't. And we left the next day. Good times, man.
Brilliant scam. It's like you just give people shit faced, and then you have them like make poor financial decisions.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's probably barely legal at this point, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does seem ethically murky.
Well, I mean, it's not perky. What?
Murky. Like, not
murky.
Necessarily.
Murky. I'm like, what's ethically perky? That sounds good. All right, wait a minute. Ooh, I like perky. Oh, jeez. So, oh my God, they just can't stay out of the room for an hour and let the dogs not bark. Anyhow, yeah, it's I've known a couple people who have gotten roped into it. Just, I mean, talking to people as I go through, jobs and talk to purchasing agents and stuff. A few people I know, especially in Florida, because that's where all the cruises go out of. And there was another, I mean, and believe it or not, some of these people scam you with retirement communities down there, man, in Florida too. So you got to be careful what you do in Florida. A lot of, I'm not trying to be mean here, but unfortunately, a lot of New Yorkers come down and scam the shit out of the Floridians. It's just the way it is, man. I'm just telling the truth. I'm not saying anything about anybody. It's the fucking truth. And some of the Floridians will scam the shit out of Floridians too. So let's not bullshit here. Yeah, it's the way it works. But speaking of bullshit and scams, WWE, folks, has announced that it's returning to Mexico this July. That's right. We know AEW was there last night. And now, Smark, they will be going to Mexico in July. Here we go, right here. You see some people on the cover. You got New Day here. You got Penta, Rey Fenix, Jey Uso, of course, Rey Mysterio right down here. Stephanie Vaquer, Seth Rollins. But there you go. Coming July 26th and 27th, they're going to be doing a show. So, going to be some good stuff, man. Look, probably going to be some very good matches. They've gotten a few people out there now that, they got Penta now. They got a few more. Now they got this whole deal with AAA. AEW's got their deal with CMLL. Everyone's got deals over in Mexico now. But I think it's great. I mean, they're getting some really good wrestling over there with some big stars. So, good for them. But There you go, Smark. What do you think?
I don't really like the way that they do. Like, I tried to watch that Worlds Collide show, and I think like one of the very first things I saw was like Ethan Page was supposed to be wrestling that, and I was like, "You fuck this shit." Like, I don't care that it's like free on YouTube. It's not worth the time.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
But like I said, they've gotten a few new acquisitions. Hard word to say. Since then, so I don't know, but I'm gonna go. Okay, the dog's okay. Dog stopped barking. My wife wants to open the door. Everything's
to
cool.
me,
Go ahead.
no, just to me, it seems like they're kind of just trying to do the same shit that they do on any of the other shows, which is like for a Mexican audience. And then if they find something there that people like or is even remotely interesting, they just go ahead and take it, put it on like their brand anyway, like the
Yeah.
Mr. Iguana guy.
Oh, let's be honest. If that gimmick was in the other company, it would be made fun of, laughed at, and they would ask if Tony was high again.
It's almost the same gimmick, just with face paint. Of just like it's a guy like he's there with Cassidy.
It's basically Santino with face paint.
Santino too, I guess.
It's Santino with face paint. That's basically what it is. He got a thing on his hand, and it's it's not a cobra. It's an iguana.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I do think that they've gotten a few. I mean, with Penta and Phoenix, and with some of the women they've picked up lately, I think they've got a little more of a presence that they're going to show. You got, I mean, even Dominic Mysterio. I mean, he's become so popular in the last couple of years. So I don't know, man. It's I think they may put on a pretty good. Listen, Smark, this isn't just a show. It is the WWE Super Show Mexico. Super Show, Mark. Super Show, Smark. It is not just a show. It is a super show. I don't think you caught that.
You're right. I didn't catch it. That is the important distinction.
Yeah. I thought you missed the part where it said it was a super show. I figured that. It can't be bad. It's a super show. How was the show? Super. Thanks for asking. It was a super show. I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Featuring such great lucha luminaries as Jay Uso and LA
and Seth Rollins, and of course Cody Rhodes, the luchador of all. My God, you know why? I know
Seth kind of counts because like his last name is Lopez, so he's got to have some sort of tie.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I mean, he does sound like a cheese. Can I get could you please put Colby Lopez on that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what kind of cheese? Oh, the Colby Lopez. Oh, the aged stuff. Got you. Okay. Not the regular Colby. The Colby Lopez.
I'd like to know, is this a poster rejected He-Man X? Which now that I look at it, it's right on the nose. So it's a good thing.
That's funny. I mean, I know why they're sending Cody to Mexico. I mean, someone's got to go down there and stop all this craziness of racism. And Cody already did it here by having a black child. So now he goes to Mexico. Now he goes to Mexico.
If ever there was a company that could unite people racially, it would be.
If you're not Caucasian, then leave. Mark Henry. I'm telling you, I don't make the rules around here.
Where'd you get that? Jesus, they were making that so grainy you couldn't. That's not Vince. That's an impersonator.
Yeah, that really did suck. It didn't suck so bad when I stole it from Twitter.
Yeah. But now Cody's gonna listen. If Cody comes back with a big booty Latina, I won't blame the guy.
I would consider that an upgrade.
I don't blame the guy. That's all I'm saying. Hey, mix him up. Have a triple, whatever they call it. Enjoy yourself.
Thruple?
Thruple. There you go. Add the in there. And I mean, New Day, you got to have them in Mexico. But yeah, as I said, this is going to be a super show, folks. I mean, it says it right there. It says it's smart. It says it's a super show.
It's just the most disingenuous thing, both on their behalf and your behalf.
Can we call this the super show? The super show? Okay.
There is but only one option, and we must.
We are the super show. That's what this is tonight. Actually, we have a lot of stuff to get into, so it is our super show. But yeah, WWE. I guess we'll see what happens with this come July 26th and 27th. Thought Smart could be a little more into that, but I guess he's not.
Well, I mean, how could I not be into it? It's a super show.
Exactly. Thank you. Now you're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're joining the fun. All right, Smark. All right, so last week we told all of you that The Miz, Mike Mizanin, is going to be hosting the updated, I guess we can call it the new updated reboot of American Gladiators on Prime Video. Well, we have the full roster of Gladiators now. And there's actually 3 wrestlers that are going to be on this show now. So let's get that pulled up real quick. This is pretty cool. What?
I said technically 4.
Technically, but all right, here we go. We've got coming up. We've got Alind Warren. He's an athlete, coach, and fitness model. Don't know who he is. Don't know much about him. Drew Agoras from Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, God, they must have a hard time with that name there. Drew Agoras. Oh, that must be horrible in Boston. Just says fitness and life coach. We have Eric Bugenhagen. Holy shit. That is former WWE wrestler Rick Boogs, who we talked about last week. Essie Shafat from Orlando, former Division I football player, 2-time finalist on MTV's Challenge, has been on Big Brother and American Ninja Warrior. We've got Jason Peel from Southern Pines, North Carolina. Just says sporting background, currently remains undisclosed.
I like how even the press release didn't know who that guy was. I was reading that shit and it cracked me up. It was like, why the fuck did you hire him?
They didn't even try to figure out who. I'm not even sure which one he is on here.
They don't know either.
But I don't know. We've got Jesse Goddard, who we did talk about, from Weed, California. Mr. Pectacular, we did talk about him. Joseph Hall, former American football player and bodybuilder. And this is the one that I was actually excited to hear about. Michael Wardlow, folks. That's right, Wardlow. Wardlow's going to get back on TV. Maybe not with AEW, but he's going to be back on TV.
That he is.
So there you go. That's your Gladiators for the men's side. And for the women's side, we also have the roster. I only know a couple of them. You're going to know a couple of them also. But I do know who a couple of them are. And let's go ahead. Let's go through and talk about the women. We've got the women's roster here, folks. We've got Abigail Lay. She is from Springfield, Minnesota. She's a fitness trainer. Danny Means. She's an IFBB pro bodybuilder. That is the International Female Bodybuilding thing. And she's a power lifter and pro rugby player. Wow. which one would I bet she's the one with her muscles up right there. Danny Spiegel. I actually know who she is. She is a CrossFit athlete. And Titan Game season 2. If you're sitting here watching on YouTube, she's the one there on the bottom right side, the blonde. That's her right there. She's one of the ones I do know who she is. Emily Nelson. She is a 6'3" personal trainer and former NCAA athlete. I love her name. At Biggie Talls. I like that. Jessica Roden from Mount Vernon, Ohio, professional wrestler known as J-Rod, the ultimate athlete. And here's another professional wrestler, Kaylee Latimer, also known as Camille, who we haven't seen back on AEW TV in a while. She has a softball, football, and bodybuilding background, though. And we also, like I said, we know who Camille is. Lou Faustin from Brooklyn, New York, another IFBB bodybuilder pro. And Sydney Hunter, former track athlete and now elite level power lifter. They've got some pretty jacked women on this fucking roster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
just gonna leave that one out there for you. See when or if you saw it.
not even gonna read that, but that's funny. It's funny. It is funny. What is wrong here? What is wrong here? There's some good-looking girls up there.
Well, no, I think you're talking about the one before with the guys.
That was.
I mean, poster. I assume boxes were doing gay porn.
No, just talking about the roster for American Gladiators. I wouldn't review that. First of all, I'd have to watch it. I don't want to do that.
I just like the idea of where would you start?
I don't even know.
I can't imagine there's one sort of, I don't know, what would be their equivalent of the notorious Debbie Does Dallas type situation where it's just synonymous with the genre.
Right, like Dan Does Dallas or something.
There you go. Convert.
Dan
SuperShow.
There. No, we're just gonna leave SuperShow. But all right, so
Baltimore.
So you're gonna love this one, Smart. This is one we don't need to spend a lot of time, but I really thought we could have some fun with this one. So we know Undertaker when he was on that LFG show, and his wife Michelle McCool replaced Mickie James. Well, Taker's at it again. He had the show called 6 Feet Under, the podcast. He was, he had that little podcast he was doing. So 3 months after the last episode, it is now back. It is now back, and it is now through WWE and Fanatics, now called the 6 Feet Under with the Undertaker. And Matt Lyda, who was the co-host, is now being replaced by, as you can see, Michelle McCool. He just can't stop. Is Taker this pussy whipped? That's my question. Is the Undertaker we knew completely pussy whipped?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I kind of don't mind this so much because shit, at least knows him. So there's, I imagine there's a rapport of some kind. I didn't listen to the original run, so I don't know how good of a co-host the other guy was. But I'll take her over fucking Con. At the very least, I know he wasn't on there, but just saying.
All right. I just think it's funny that people keep anywhere Undertaker goes, someone gets replaced by Michelle McCool. Just keep that in mind, folks, if you ever get when did Undertaker get replaced with an old Chinese mob? Taker does look kind of like an old Chinese mob boss, doesn't he?
Oh, bravo, Figaro, bravo, bravissimo, bravo. La 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 la.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
SuperShow.
SuperShow. All right. Folks, I'm going to ruin it a little bit for you. We're going to talk a little politics tonight because it's been brought up in wrestling a little bit lately. Hopefully this doesn't go bad. I don't think it will. Me and Smark have always been able to talk the politics thing and still be speaking afterwards. But and I'm not going to say anything ridiculous here anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you didn't know, there was a protest happening over the weekend, a No Kings protest. And there was one pretty much all over. Pretty much think of a liberal city. There was one of these protests there. Most of these protests I saw were not what we have been seeing in LA. Let's just put it that way. They were perfectly fine people out there doing their right out there protesting. Well, if you don't know, CM Punk, none other than CM Punk, was there at the protest right in front of the Trump Tower. Doesn't look that, he might have got there early. Doesn't look that crowded there, but, I say good for him. Again, I don't have to agree with why he's there. But he certainly is allowed to be there. The people looked ecstatic that he was there. He had pictures with a bunch of people. So I say good for him. But a lot of people, man, the internet's been so divided over this. We've got the Stephanie McMahon picture to talk about and what Brody King did last night. It's been pretty weird. But hell, I mean, we all, if anyone who's listened to the show long enough knows I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan, but he is doing nothing wrong here. It doesn't matter if I agree with him. He's having a good time. Like I said, the crowd, there's a lot of pictures of him with a lot of different people in the crowd. And, but yeah, there you go. So what do you think, Smark, about CM Punk at the No Kings protest?
I think that he's probably going to have to eat a whole lot of crow very soon since he's wrestling in Saudi Arabia after talking that shit about Saudi Arabia, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, but I do want to mention if we did have a king, protest wouldn't be happening. It would not be happening. Just so you know. But anyway, no, I think it was pretty cool seeing him out there, actually. There were a lot more celebrities running around. Someone ran into Jack Black. They said he was at the protests, but
like with a car?
No, the what? No,
like with
no,
a car? They mowed him down.
No. He was walking across the street. It looked like he was trying to get somewhere. And this guy kept bugging him to take a picture. He was walking through the middle of the protests, but it looked like he was trying to get somewhere and wasn't trying to do the protest. Looks like he was trying to get somewhere. And he looked very annoyed. He's sad. He took the picture with this guy and he kept doing what he was doing. But there's been a lot of celebrities out there at these protests, and whatever. Look, my only thing is I feel you divide your fan base when you do this. And listen, that's not my problem. It's their problem. Mm-hmm. But I do feel you sort of do divide your fan base when you do something like this. Unfortunately, a lot of people should fucking see it for what it is. It is what it is. He's got a different opinion. He's allowed to have a different opinion. It's the way we do things in this country. That's what makes this country great, is that we can differ in opinions and still get along.
Yeah,
we used to.
Well, I mean, like the problem nowadays is just that with social media and you be able to kind of curate what you see, what you view, all that kind of stuff. Just the echo chamber goes deeper and deeper to the point where you only see stuff that you want to see. You only interact with people who have the same sort of viewpoints that you have, and then people from the opposition, you don't actually talk to them. You just see like clips that people brought up, just people saying the wildest shit, and that like reflects the entire group of people. So you have like this weird misrepresentation of people, and the hole just keeps getting deeper.
Edited clips of people that are being shown to show you the worst of the worst people. Once again, folks, I'm going to say this: turn the news off, all of it. I don't care if I'm not talking about to turn Fox off, turn CNN, all of it, all of it. They are all lying to you, all of them. Do your own, find your own news resources. Do not watch news on television. They are trying to get ratings. That's all they're doing. All of them. Turn it off. Make judgments for yourself. Don't let the news make judgments for you. That I will tell you.
That's also the problem, though, is that's not exclusive to television news. That's also, websites get websites and YouTube channels. It's all about traffic. It's about engagement. It's about ad revenue online or on television anyway. So unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people who sensationalize shit for their own benefit financially, regardless of like what it actually does to create a divide amongst people, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I do think it just creates a divide between his fans. Some of his fans are like, will just say, oh, good. He thinks different than me. Who gives a shit? Which is how people should think. But I mean, look, people, good for him. Glad he had a good time. But I mean, he wasn't, throwing rocks at police cars or anything. So yeah, who cares? Let him have his fun. And like I said, the crowd looked like they were really happy to see him there. Those who knew who he was.
Well, I mean, since we've already sort of reached this topic anyway, do you want to see a clip from one of these protests?
Okay.
You're going to anyway. Here you go.
If you buy her one margarita, she will spread her legs. If you buy her 2 margaritas, she will pounce right on your penis.
That's all it takes is burritos at those things?
Margaritas,
well, that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
also burritos too. The price of food these days is ridiculous.
I just got a feeling there's going to be a bush down there. It's just a gut feeling. That's all I'm saying. Gut feeling. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be George W. down there. Yeah, that little fucking laugh he used to do. What was that saying he used to always fucked up?
Fool me once.
You shame on you can't fool a fooler. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't be fooled again. That's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to say. He was a sniveling little fuck. He was a sniveling little fuck. But I will always respect him for the way he handled 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Junior. I will respect him for that. You kind of have to. But so we had Punk going there, and then we had Stephanie and Triple H post a picture. You want to talk about dividing a fucking audience. This was not good. This was a bad picture. It didn't go over very well. Let's put it that way. Did not go over very well, everybody. But here it is right here. It was Triple H and Stephanie with RFK, who's the, secretary. Who's he? The Secretary of Health or some bullshit like that. Now, I know it's a little weird to see but you got to remember Stephanie's mom, Linda, is now part of this whole cabinet. So, Triple H thanked Senator Kennedy, Secretary Kennedy, for having them. He said, thank you for having us, Secretary Kennedy, always striving to do whatever we can to help make our nation's youth as healthy as they can be. And the Senator Kennedy put a little caption on his, met today with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to strategize about the upcoming President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. Well, needless to say, people lost their minds that they were with him. But again, I don't see the problem here. I don't. And easy, Luke. I'm not even going to repeat that one either. Might get kicked off. I'm not crazy about this guy either. He's one of the Kennedys. We all know the Kennedys were less than on the up and up with most of the stuff they were doing. But again, the guy has done a couple of good things. He's getting most of the dyes out there banned that are being put in our foods. That's a really good thing. He's gotten a couple of restaurants to start using tallow instead of, I think it's tallow they're using instead of oil. Doing a few things that are not bad. But again, when I hear him talk, I want to spill my drink. It's just, I don't know why. It's just crazy. He's got that. My God, Michael J. Fox speaks clearer than he does.
There's never been a problem with his oration. I think it's more of a problem with hand-eye coordination. You make a hell of a bartender.
I want that drink extra shaken. Give it to him.
All I'm saying is you left a lot of money on the table with those James Bond movies where he says he wants a martini shaken, not stirred. You should have Michael J. Fox pop up from behind the bar. He's like, I got you.
Oh shit! Just ask this guy a question and let him fucking shake your drink. Okay, but again, I see no issues with this. I know people lost their fucking minds, and again, we're gonna get into the Brody King thing a little bit later, with the shirt he wore last night. And again, I'll tell you now, I whatever. I don't care. A while ago, I stopped caring. I don't give a shit. So. Don't give a shit. Fuck it. Do what you want. Leave me alone. That's my cry. But anyway, so yeah, I see no issues with that. Now, Smark, you may get shit. You may get some shit for bringing this one up, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We've only got a few more things to get into, then we'll hit AEW. I've told y'all for a while, and I think some of you all know this already, that JD from New York is just in this for the money, folks. He's in this to piss you off and to piss off the internet, wrestling community as a whole. It's all he's there for is to stoke the fire. Let's start with this picture right here. Let's start with this one. So you see right here, you got this picture. I'm going to take this off real quick so we can see this. So you see, just a while back, a couple of years ago, I think the date might be on the tweet. No, it's not. I thought it was.
I think it was just last month. I think it was.
It was just a while ago. He said this literally. Kenny Omega should win the international championship from Takeshita at Revolution. Should wrestle Okada at All In Texas, with both the Continental and Intercontinental championships on the line. The winners should unify them into the AEW Intercontinental Championship to ease the burden of too many irrelevant titles within AEW. That sounds just like the storyline that we talked about last week that happened on AEW. The new belt that Tony introduced. Schiavone not gone. So what does he do? Last week, right after AEW does the exact storyline he talks about, They are crowning an AEW Unified Champion. What the fuck is that? Okay. Again, did exactly what he said, and he's still pissed off and trying to piss you off. See, I'm telling you. But this is what I've found funny. Now, I don't usually agree with Dax Harwood. We don't usually.
Oh, God, no.
No, we don't. I do on this one. So he says, and he's talking about JD here. He said, I think it's pretty common knowledge now with people inside and outside of the wrestling business. This guy is a fucking idiot. I watched him stand outside of a hotel in London like Puss in Boots, begging to get in to hang out. No one would let him in. All the wrestlers laughed at him. From that day forward, his whole perception of AEW changed. Coincidence?
He went all the way to London to try to watch an AEW show.
It sounds like he was outside of the hotel trying to get in and hang out with the wrestlers after the show, and none of them would let him in. Or maybe it was. Maybe he was trying to get into the arena free, and no one would do it. But I'm telling you guys, you know what? Consider him part of the news.
Now, I will say, though, about that London show, you know who for sure ended up getting in free to the London show?
Conrad?
It's another one. Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared. You better be aware. It's a nightmare. You better run away if you jump.
He performed before the show started. He sung like whatever the equivalent of the British national anthem is. Britannica the Beautiful or something.
Oh, glad I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry I missed that. Not I'm glad. I'm sorry I missed that. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, but just proving the point that that's
Luke says, "Fuck, I remember this bitch from when I used to watch wrestling."
Yeah, and he's still. I mean, everyone's starting to figure out that a lot of these guys are just in here to start shit to get you guys riled up. And I don't know what it is with these fucking New Yorkers yelling and screaming about everything and making a big deal over little tiny things. Oh, I caught Dave Meltzer in a lie. He was lying. He said 4 weeks ago, and it was 5 and 2 days. 5 weeks, 2 days. He's a liar and a piece of shit. And they'll go off on that for 20 fucking minutes. Over a week and 2 day mistake, and they'll go off on it.
Honestly, like if what he was doing was just a stick, like if it was like performance art, like it'd be the most beautiful fucking thing, to be honest. I'm just like suggesting an idea like a month earlier on Twitter, and then they book the idea exactly how you want it. Like, this is fucking stupid. Who would book this shit? Like you.
Yeah. But you know, he's gonna find any way he can to get everybody riled up, worked up. And I hate to say it's working for him. The guy makes a living doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Only you can stop that, folks. Only you can prevent forest fires.
That's right.
I learned that as a kid. Only you folks can stop that. So let's get into this.
I to some degree though, I do give him some credit, and like him kind of, and then like people like Soul Monster and shit, like just anybody who can get like super duper worked up and like passionate, fucking like veins just bulging over wrestling. Because like I remember there was like one. Well, yeah, Soul Monster's not so well. The thing that bothered me, like it's not really his fault, but like I remember. Like there was a period of time where just every couple of days Dirk would send me a clip of something that he did or said, and I don't know why, but that's just what would happen. And like I was watching one where he was saying that it was like it was a tragedy that Bobby Lashley was not on the WrestleMania card. And this was like right after like a school got like blown away by a tornado, and there's like a couple kids that died. I think there was like a school shooting too, like a day or two before. And it's like, let's be careful with throwing the word tragedy around, all right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just listen. They've got a fan base. That's great. They're way bigger than this fucking show. I know it. I'm not saying anything about it. And I'm not trying to start fights here to gain clout. I don't give a shit. Oh, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Why not?
Oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't, even at my age. But it's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to point out to you guys that there are people out there who are just trying to piss you off. And listen, sometimes he may have a legitimate point. I'm not saying he doesn't, but most of the times he's stoking the fire, trying to get you guys pissed off. And join my Discord while you're at it. Ask me questions. You can ask me all you want.
See, I haven't listened to him a lot, but the fact that he apparently sounds like Joan Rivers makes me want to listen to him.
No, I haven't listened to him. I don't know if he sounds like that or not.
I choose to believe it. It's canon in my eyes.
That's fine. That's fine. I've never listened to JD from New York, but
okay. So what I've did is I've planted a very elaborate seed because we're talking shit about JD from New York, and I've mentioned Dirk, which means he's going to clip this and send it to him, and he'll probably shit talk us in about a week or two. So we're gonna get a bump from that, and everything's gonna be good.
Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even care. I really don't. I've said before, I have no problem with us being the size show we are. It doesn't bother me one bit. I do this because I will probably murder someone if I don't. Really, that's probably what it is. I probably will. So, I have this. But yeah. But speaking of possible lawsuits, AEW and Jon Moxley are being sued for negligence, civil assault, and battery by one of their production crew members, a guy named Christopher Dispenza. So this lawsuit was filed on May 30th, 2025, just a little while ago, obviously, in Wayne County Circuit Court in Michigan. Dispenza, who he was a contract crew member for AEW since 2019 via the Broadcast Service Group. He claims that an incident on May 10th, 2023, during an episode of Dynamite in Detroit, led to severe injuries requiring cervical fusion surgery, shoulder surgery, and other treatments also. Now, before we get too far, let's check out exactly what happened. I purposely took the audio out of this so we don't get any hits. But if you remember, this was the cage match with Moxley, and he's in there, and he goes, and you see right here, he just pushes a cameraman out of the way onto the ground to get the screwdriver. It was him and Omega. So that's what happened. The cameraman is the gentleman we are talking about right here, Christopher Dispenza. So according to his legal team, the incident occurred, as we just showed, during this match. He was tasked with holding a screwdriver for Moxley to use as a prop. So he had the screwdriver. And he's saying that Moxley went off script and unexpectedly shoved him to the ground, which we just saw, while grabbing the screwdriver. He claims the shove was not part of the show and any agreed upon physical interaction. The lawsuit accuses Moxley of civil assault and battery, asserting that he either intended to harm Dispenza or acted with a complete disregard for whether harm was a result. Also alleges that Moxley has a history of disciplinary issues and unpredictability that AEW was aware of or should have been aware of. I sort of disagree with this because I don't hear. I mean, he's a little crazy, but disciplinary issues? Have you heard of any of those? Did you hear of those in WWE ever with him?
It kind of sounds like he's trying to play up the character in order to help his lawsuit. Like, the only thing I really think of is, like, I mean, he went to rehab, but I'm not sure that really counts as a character issue per se.
No, but he's saying that not the character, but John Moxley himself has a history of disciplinary issues, and I personally disagree with that because I don't remember talking about any John Moxley disciplinary issues. Yes, he realized he had a drinking problem and he went to get help for it. I don't know are disciplinary problems. Why? Because he bleeds a lot. I'm very confused at that statement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what he means by that either. You'd have to kind of elaborate on that. Maybe
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that
unsafe because
statement.
he does like deathmatch wrestling. Maybe that's what he's trying to get at, but even that's really not true. It doesn't. I've never heard anybody talk about it being like unsafe as a wrestler.
Yeah. Well, here's another one I disagree with. The next sentence, next paragraph, actually. AEW is accused of negligence in its hiring, training, keyword, training, supervision, and retention of Moxley. I hate to put it to this guy, but AEW did not train John Moxley.
No, that was Les Thatcher's fault or problem, if you want to look at it that way.
No, they may have hired him, they may have been supervised him and retained him, but I can pretty well tell you AEW did not train John Moxley. So there's another little bullshit part of that story. The
He's
lawsuit
out there at the
states,
Nightmare Factory grinding it out with QT Marshall.
yeah. I mean, I don't think you never know. He might, if he's there, I'm sure he's helping out kids. But anyway, AEW is accused of negligence. Okay, we already did that. Dispensa is next sentence, that paragraph. The lawsuit states that AEW failed to exert reasonable control over its employees, agents, and/or contracted individuals to ensure the safety of other performance, production crew, and the general audience. All right. All right. You might have something there. Dispensa is seeking compensation for various damages, including medical expenses, disability, permanent disfigurement, lost wages, pain and suffering, emotional distress. The amount in controversy exceeds $25,000. That's just the formality they're putting in there to make sure it goes to the right court. AEW has stated that it does not comment on pending litigation. That is true, just like law enforcement doesn't comment on ongoing investigations. But it looks like the first conference for this is scheduled for August 29th of this year. So I definitely think the guy, if he got hurt, he should get something. He should. Moxley shouldn't have gone off script and pushed him down. I don't know if you saw the video. I think you might have stepped away for a minute.
I saw the video. I've seen it before. There's a thing that, like, what I find to be interesting about this is, like, yeah, like, I'm not really down with the idea of him, like, trying to attack Moxley's character as a person or what have you. If you can get some money off of AEW, you get some money off of AEW. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep over somebody trying to fucking game the system, making some money off of a fucking millionaire. Like, the world goes on. But, like, you don't have to attack Moxley for it, like, as a person. But, like, it is just very weird that because, like, it's very weird that he was not part of it, or that, like, they hadn't rehearsed this going, before this happened. Because it's a weird thing to sort of improv. It's just like pushing a random person down, because this is the kind of shit that you open yourself up to.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. But, and yeah, I mean, look, he just, I mean, it didn't seem like an accident. He didn't bump into the guy. He throws Omega back here. He goes, he grabs the screwdriver, and he did throw the guy down pretty hard. And I mean, the guy's also holding a camera, which is another, I don't know how much a camera weighs. I would assume it's not a fucking, lightweight VHS cam.
Right.
So, and if you have something in your hands, you know what you can't do? Brace yourself for a fucking fall.
I mean, I could 110% believe this guy actually got injured. Like, I'm not saying that he's full on ambulance chasing, but it just seems so weird that they didn't like clear this beforehand. And like, it's one of those things where it's like risk versus reward of like, I think when everybody saw this, you would just naturally believe that he was like a plant or at least a guy who agreed beforehand to take the bump anyway. So you see this and you're like, yeah, it's part of the show. It's not a huge deal. And then when you see it and you know that it's not part of the show, you don't think, oh my God, that's so cool. You think, wow, why would you do this? Like, you are opening yourself up to a lawsuit, which is what's happening.
Yeah. And I'm
like also real quick, if you like frame it from the idea of like, you just like think of it like from a kayfabe perspective, it's Jon Moxley just beating up a random civilian. Like, that's really not cool. Like, he's not beating the shit out of another wrestler. He's just beating the shit out of a random person who's like not a trained athlete, fighter, what have you. So like, it doesn't look cool.
And I'm guessing probably a union guy too. A lot of those cameramen are union guys. I got no issues with unions.
I do. Fucking communist. Anyways, Stephen Butler.
Jesus. Oh, holy shit. They're gonna fucking calm down there, Jimmy Hoffa.
You want to strike so goddamn bad? I'll tell you what. No. Actually, extremely pro-union. Anyway, Stephen Butler says, Wiki says Moxley was trained by and worked for Les Thatcher in 2004. He worked, he was in HWA before he went to WWE, and like, even before, like, I think CZW and all that bullshit. He talked about it in his book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely a lot of CZW. So, I'm sure DJ takes credit for training him.
Oh, yes, probably.
And what's going on, Stephen Butler? How are you doing, sir?
Tangentially related. This is going to go off a little bit. There was a period in time where CZW and Shakar had this same like shared space that they use for training. And it was funny because at one point, Mike Wackenbush offered all of the CZW guys, if they wanted to, that they could come and train with them for free. And like everybody to a person told him to go fuck himself, except for Nick Gage, which is like hilarious if you think about the idea of the visual image of Nick Gage, fucking bandana and everything, training with a bunch of like guys that are dressed up like ants and dinosaurs and shit. Like that just seems so. I would have loved to have seen that.
That would have been great. I hope there's video.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day it'll get released. Who knows? But yeah, this is just a weird thing that, and like I said, if this guy got as hurt as he says he did, which, I mean, if this is going to a lawsuit, this can all be proven. I say the guy deserves something. I really feel that way. I feel the guy deserves something if he got hurt. Compensation, definitely. Medical bills paid. Lost wages, absolutely. And if he's permanently disabled from this, pay that man his money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I turned into KGB there.
Dang.
Never seen Rounders, have you?
No.
Matt Damon, Edward Norton. Card players. Okay.
No.
Great movie. Awesome movie.
Saying the people that are in the movie doesn't help me actually see the movie.
Good fucking movie.
Okay.
John Malkovich is in it. John Malkovich plays a completely different character than what everyone else in the movie is playing, but it's still awesome.
Sure, if I'd like to know what season of Dark Side of the Ring this guy's episode would be. Probably the next one. They're slowly but surely running out of ideas.
Oh, I wasn't sure where that was going. I thought you were they're slowly but surely running out of ideas. I wasn't sure where
it.
You had the finger. I was like, oh, whoa, where's he going with that? Okay.
They've already done a documentary on Teddy Hart too, so that's a well that they can't go back to. They should. I'm okay with that.
I think we should have known they were getting low on ideas when they did one on Earthquake on John Tenta.
Yeah, that one was just sad. Where it's like, here's a guy who didn't do any drugs, didn't cheat on his wife, didn't beat anyone. Children loved him, wife loved him.
Yeah.
So like, why is it Dark Side of the Ring? Oh, because he got cancer. It's like, all right, well, that's just sad. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunately that's life for a lot of people. I don't know, man, but yeah, I would say this guy definitely deserves some compensation for that. And no, you don't fire Moxley for it. You fucking tell him don't fucking push anyone ever again who's not supposed to be pushed. Done. Don't fucking do it, idiot. You know, I mean, they've stopped these guys from doing a lot of other things. I mean, you don't see Hangman now grabbing drinks out of the crowd's hands. They can't do that anymore. That is so dangerous. Anyone could slip anything in those drinks that you chug. That is dangerous, dude. And I wouldn't put it past wrestling fans to do something like that.
There was a guy, unfortunately, I believe he passed away, but there was a guy who would show up to like GCW shows, and I think he brought like, I think it was tea. I'm not positive, but it looked like a gallon of just urine. Like, so we'd bring it and you drink it, and it was like, I think they called him like piss guy or something, like piss juggling or some shit. Like, but even so, like, what is to stop somebody from doing something of that nature?
Nothing. And unfortunately, we don't live in a time where you can just trust people like that. We just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we did. I wish to God we did, but we don't.
Bill Cosby fucked things up for everybody.
Oh, dude, even before that, people, I mean, they were telling girls to cover their drinks at bars. When I was in high school, they were telling girls to cover up their drinks when they're in bars and, do this, do that.
Dark Side of the Ring thing. If you remember the plane ride from hell, they were talking, a big portion of that episode on the plane ride from hell was them talking about the H-bomb thing, of where they would put shit in your drinks and like as a prank and just make people pass out or act strange or what have you. So
hilarious.
It's been commonplace for a while. Yeah, the good old prank of drugging your coworkers.
Oh yeah, just give him a drug he's might never had. Doesn't know how it's going to react in his body. Doesn't know what he's taken before. Perfect. I fucking love it. Anyway, folks, last thing that we're going to get into before we jump into the old AEW Grand Slam Mexico, I believe it was called, is Mortos. Mortos has been in the news for a few things lately. One, obviously, I for some reason everyone gives a shit that him and Sasha Banks are dating. I don't give a shit. But this is actually pretty interesting. I guess people are. I think it's true that he passed the bar exam.
Yes.
And is going to be a lawyer. I think that's true. I actually do think it's true. So that's a good thing. That's pretty cool. Someone came up with a silly business card for him. I think I have it. Hold on. I do. Here it is. It says Frank Mortos, attorney at 1-800.
Somebody says you can now take David Otunga in court.
Is he? What is David Otunga? Is he practicing law right now? What is he doing?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
I lost touch.
I did not mean that as like any disrespect to David Otunga. I haven't heard that name in a while. I wonder if he's practicing law or what. I think him and Jennifer Hudson have been done for a while, but I don't really follow David Otunga's career, and I shouldn't.
That makes all of us. So I went to look up this Beast Mortos thing, and apparently, like, it's weird because the first thing I see to confirm whether or not he's a lawyer is like there's an article from fucking Wrestling Inc. And then right under it is a article from Pro Football Net, which is not really a place I would expect to see an article on more toast about. It's like, I guess they have a wrestling subsection, but that's just wasn't expecting to see that shit.
Yeah, let me see here. David Otunga. Let's see if he's doing anything. I'm gonna check out his IMDb because he has been in a few
That was for sure
TV shows and movies.
movies.
Hold on here. Actually, he was just in a detective series last year called Wrath and Rituals. Detective Simon Thomas, who was in 4 episodes. He did one of those Christmas movies, A Jar Full of Christmas. One of those Christmas movies. You know how those are. He was in 2 episodes of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. He was in a movie called Highway 905 in 2024. He's still doing some stuff.
Hold on a second. No. We can't just steamroll this one. You said it was called A Jar Full of Christmas?
I did. Would you like to hear the synopsis? I will bring it up right now.
You're fucking. That's where I was already going, but please go ahead.
In Lake Placid, New York Rose inherits her mom's home. Wait a minute. Yeah. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. In Lake Placid, New York. Oh my God. What am I doing here?
No, I choose to believe this woman's name is New York Rose. Let's keep it going.
I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. In Lake Placid, New York, Rose inherits her mom's home, reuniting her with her childhood friend, Summer. Sparks fly with an old pal, Everett, and the trio uses Rose's mom's jam recipe to save the town church. You want to know the scary thing? I saw my wife watching this. I swear to God, I did. Blending nostalgia, love, and community. Yeah, I saw my wife watching this movie. I didn't realize David Otunga was in it. I didn't realize that. But Aliza Roberts is in it, and guess who? I believe she is the daughter of Eric Roberts, who we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. And of course, who can forget Michael D. McCarthy's role as dinner patron?
Well, you know.
And you've got Jason Frederick's star-turning role as Everett Waters.
Yeah, and this is actually Eric Roberts' wife. He's been married to her since 1992. She was actually in Animal House in 1978.
Okay, I'm glad that you said that because I was convinced that some of these people are not real. There's like 8 people in here named dinner patron or playing the role as dinner patron. One lady is just playing the role of pedestrian. Of course, you have
not to correct you, but that word is diner.
I've only ever read it.
Adding ends to words doesn't make them correct.
Well,
diner, not dinner. My gosh.
The N is silent, actually.
I have to start axing you questions pretty soon here.
Super Show.
So yeah, all right. David Otunga's doing some acting work. Good for him. Upcoming, he has.
Again, one of the characters in this movie is named Tim Shavens. This is the worst fucking. I will say that of nobody's accord other than mine. If I would make a good idea for a segment on Kids while we're killing time in December, I made up a list of Hallmark movies, and it was up to everybody to decide whether or not it was an actual Hallmark. Not a good. Tried that twice, fucked up both times. Hallmark movie, or if it was something that I made up. So I wrote, I came up with a plot of 10 fictional Hallmark movies, and it is both wildly fun and just terribly mad. After a while, it becomes you. You stare into the abyss, and then the abyss stares back. Situation.
I got you. I do. All right. You ready to get into AEW, Smark?
Let's do it.
All right. let's fucking do this, man. It was, like I said, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. They were in Mexico. I actually thought the show looked pretty good, the arena and everything. Thought it looked great. We start off with Hangman coming out, kicking off with a promo in predominantly, actually not even in Spanish.
Entirely, yeah.
He did this whole thing in Spanish, and I believe Excalibur was translating, which, thank God, he finally had a use on that team.
That's actually a good point. True North mentions that he only got one wrong in the fictional or real Hallmark movie game. He is surprisingly well versed in the Hallmark movies as well, apparently. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Does Excalibur being able to translate Hangman Spanish, does that add extra cred for you in terms of like him wearing the mask? Does it justify him wearing the mask now that he like is proven to be bilingual?
No, Hangman was up there without a mask speaking Spanish.
Okay, that's fair. That's true.
He's sitting
I will
down
also
there in a mask.
say,
Yeah, he's down there in a mask speaking English. See, it's literally a problem.
I will also say that I do appreciate the gesture, and like it is a cool thing to do right now because, like you said, it's kind of a divisive time at the moment. So you have Hangman come out; he's like their big baby face there in Mexico. You have him speak Spanish, but like what I was kind of thinking about while I was listening to the promo, watching the promo, is like if they watch AEW on a weekly basis, they've heard and seen plenty of promos that are in English. So like they to probably some degree understand English.
Well, I think it was more go out there and speak their language in there. You know, I'll be honest, I couldn't have fucking done it. I took Spanish for 2 years and didn't learn a lick. I can't learn another language. So I could not have done what he did. I thought it was pretty fucking amazing. I don't know where he learned Spanish, but good for him for going out there and doing that. But yeah, I totally agree. Yes, he could have done that in English, but he chose to go out there and get the crowd riled up in their own language and was able to do it. So I don't see a problem with it, but I do see where it's weird.
I wouldn't say it's even weird. It's just, it was kind of like, I was thinking about that. It's just like, well, I see what you're trying to do, but at the same time, like there's going to be plenty of other segments that are in English. So it's like, you're going to run into a barrier at some point. It is it's a tricky thing to do though, because like, especially with another language, you know, it's like any other language where like one word could mean a multitude of things. Or like, for example, in Spanish, huevos is eggs, but it's also balls, like testicles. So it's like, that is a fucking tightrope to walk where you don't accidentally end up saying some shit that's either offensive or just like makes you look bad.
Yeah. And like I said, he went out there and did it as far as I'm concerned. I had no issues with it, but yeah, I can see where you would say, yeah, he could have just done that in English, and he could have, but like I said, man, he went out there and got them all riled up and in their own, you know, in their language, and it worked. So good for him.
Crowd was behind him. It sounded good. I could understand some of it, and like just the passion he was delivering it with was pretty spot on.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we had all these crazy fucking matches. 14-man, 10-man, 4-man. But let's start off with the 14-man tag match. It was, all right, I guess we can do it. It was Bandito, Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, Brody King, Templario, Atlantis, and Atlantis Jr. versus Dax Harwood. And before the match, Stokely Hathaway came out and announced that Cash Wheeler wouldn't be there. I wonder if he had a court date. I don't know. We'll find out. Cash Wheeler wouldn't be there to unforeseen circumstances. And Volador Jr. is going to be taking his spot. So he was in that match. And as well as the Don Callis family. And I'm sure Smark was very happy when Callis sat down. Oh, he didn't sit down for this. It was the other match.
No, yeah, they tricked me because I was
They
super
did.
because I saw the Don Callis trying to come out. I was like, oh boy, we're gonna hit the mute button already. This sucks. Oh well, and like I didn't hear him. I was like, all right, maybe he's behind. Maybe he didn't use there's a delay. He'll be out in a minute. The entire match came and went. No Don Callis. I was like, all right, this is cool. This is great. I'm loving this match. I'm enjoying myself. This is pretty good. A lot of fun. Okada comes out. Out comes
Yep.
Don Callis. Under the commentary booth comes Don Callis. I was like, fucking
You knew it. You knew it. But this is the match that got a lot of controversy for a shirt worn by Brody King that said abolish ICE. Boy. Talk about a divisive shirt. This shirt was I saw a lot of people hating him for this. I saw a lot of people loving him for this. I say he can wear what the fuck he wants. I don't care. His ideas are different than mine. I may not agree with it. Whether I do or don't, he can still wear the fucking shirt, even in Mexico. But I saw a lot of people really upset and a lot of people really either very upset or very happy. There wasn't a lot of mid ground. But God, it's just a shirt. And one thing I see is a lot of people keep politics out of wrestling. The Iron Sheik is probably very happy we never kept politics out of wrestling because his whole career was based on being a foreign heel in a country that we were kind of at war with at times. During the Cold War, the Russian guys were always the heels.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling has always taken some cues from politics. Sometimes it's a little too late, but they have always taken cues from politics. It's not going to stop. And especially now, especially where they were, especially with what's happening in this country right now, he has an opinion. He has a platform. He wants to show it. I don't see the problem. Whether you agree with him or not, I don't see a problem here at all. I still think the guy's fucking awesome wrestler. How's that? Makes me think nothing less of him, nothing more of him. Just makes me think he's got a different opinion and is still a damn good wrestler and an intimidating fucking looking man. There you go. So there you go, Smark. What do you think about the abolish ICE shirt?
I mean, I think it actually kind of speaks to what we were talking about before, like echo chambers and whatnot, and like curating what you see on like social media and all of that. I'm not so much accusing you of doing that as much as it is just interesting because, like you said, you saw a lot of people that were adverse to that, hating on him for that, criticizing him about that, and like just based on kind of, I guess it's a matter of like different pages and different circles of like, people that we communicate with, but I saw nothing but just people that were just abundantly positive, that were like total support of everything that he's, the t-shirt and him for wearing the t-shirt, so on and so forth. And like, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, regardless of how you feel about it, like, I personally, I wholeheartedly endorse the sentiment, but it doesn't really matter because it's just like, you don't need everybody to echo and to parrot how you think and how you feel about politics or any other matter in life, religion, sexuality, all of that kind of stuff. Like, you have your own beliefs, people have theirs. Like, as long as you're not a cunt about it, like, let's just keep the train rolling,
Yeah.
And like you said, this has happened. Like, it hasn't really ever been done with any matter of like tact or just any matter of care last 20, 30, 40 years when it comes to wrestling and like matters of politics. Like you said, like Iron Sheik, fucking Nikolai Volkov, fucking Muhammad Hassan, like just character after character. I would be curious to wonder, like, the people who are unhappy about this, how they felt about it. Because there was a period of time there in Mexico, I think particularly AAA, so not CMLL, but there was a period of time there where I could think of multiple people who used Trump to get heel heat, like that said that they were a big fan of Trump or would like wear Trump on their tights. There's a guy, I can't remember who it was, might have been Hammerstone, maybe. But there was somebody who had Trump on their tights. I remember Velveteen Dream had Trump on his tights for a minute when he was a heel in Mexico, like pre-Velveteen Dream. I think it was just like Patrick Clark at the time. But
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know what Brody King has against ice cold drinks. I don't get it. It's just not. I mean, I love ice cold drinks.
he does strike me as the kind of guy that would drink like bourbon or whiskey straight. Like he seems like the kind of guy that's like, it'll fuck up the chemistry of the cocktail. Like he for sure seems like a craft brewing type of motherfucker.
And I get it. I get the anger. I do. Exactly. You know, if you're drinking a drink, craft brew or something, ice will ruin it. And it's just, it's horrible. So, you know, I personally like ice in my water, in my drinks. So, you know, I have a little different opinion than he does, but
there you go. And let's circle back to a comment from about an hour ago. True North would like to know, will the Iron Sheik get another run in WWE with what's happening in the Middle East?
Guess we can dig him up, and I don't know how to answer this.
I mean, there's holograms and shit, so anything is possible. I mean, hologram was in this match too, I think. No, he was in the other match, wasn't he?
He was in the other match, yeah, that we're gonna get to. But to be honest with you, this whole match was kind of taken over by that shirt. But the baby faces ended up winning this match, and the Don Callis family.
Well, the shirt was divisive, but apparently, and this was really wild for somebody. I don't know if you caught on to it. I did. It was kind of wild for somebody that doesn't really watch a lot of Lucha Libre, so I wasn't like super familiar with some of these guys and how they feel and what they think about things. That crowd fucking hated Atlantis Jr. Like he was part of the babyface team, and like he hit a tope, and just everybody booed him, just full chest with like the enthusiasm of like a billion suns.
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about using politics as a crowd reaction. Let's be honest here. MJF came down in all USA decked out gear, looking like it was a fucking Rocky movie.
Mm-hmm.
No one bitched about that, but he was definitely using that as a political thing. Most definitely in Mexico, absolutely that is a political statement in Mexico. But no one bitched about him wearing all that. I mean, and I'm not bitching about it. I don't care. But it was it's just weird the things that people find to go like everyone just, I mean, people will die on any fucking hill now, man. They'll just take it to the limit, like to the death. And it's like, my God, just it's really not that big a deal. I mean, it's really not that big a deal. I mean, it's not like you went out there and said to murder somebody. Let's take it easy here.
Mm-hmm.
You wore a shirt. That's it. But anyway, let's get back to AEW here. We had a video package after that with the showing the stuff between Omega and Okada, kind of leading up to their all-in match. Then we had a Mark Briscoe promo. God, I love Mark Briscoe's promos. This was all on Okada. It was pretty cool. I was actually talking about his history with Omega and him wanting to get revenge on Okada. Good stuff. And then right after that, we did have the match with Okada and Mark Briscoe. And this one, I know Smark was happy because Don Callis just came right down to commentary.
It makes it so difficult because I watch the Fight TV broadcast. Ooh. And like they do the picture in picture, and I usually I'll fast forward through the picture in picture because nothing really of circumstance happens. So I usually skip ahead 2 or 3 minutes. But if I don't hear when they're going to commercial break, when I mute the audio when Don Callis comes out to commentate, so it's like I just ended up watching the entire match. Like that's the Don Callis tax. Is like, okay, I don't have to hear him, but I will watch the picture-in-picture break because of it.
Yeah. I guess you had to. But I thought this was a fun fucking match. Once again, I like Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is like the crazy uncle that shows up at the barbecues just to fuck shit up and then leaves. And I love that about him. You know, just the crazy uncle with the mohawk.
He doesn't have a mohawk, but I do have an uncle that is very Mark Briscoe-esque, which is makes no fucking sense because he was born and grew up in Illinois just like I did. But we moved down here for a couple years, and then all of a sudden he talks just like Mark Briscoe. I don't understand it, but God bless him.
Oh, no. All I know is I knew so many people like Mark Briscoe when I lived in Florida. It's not even funny. I knew so many people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So many. But Okada did win that match. And after the match, Callis comes in the ring and he's giving Okada his, championship. Crowd's chanting Omega. And then Callis attacked Briscoe. And just kind of, that was about it. Then we had the MJF promo and then he came down. But yeah, like I said, he came down and all that stuff. They showed that Sin Cara remark from last week. But MJF got himself disqualified here. So Mystico picked up a win over him in that way. MJF did a low blow. It wasn't the first one he did, but it was the first one the referee had seen. And after the match, they had MJF and the Hurt Syndicate beat the shit out of Mystico. They were attempting to unmask him and did for a minute. Enough to MJF actually stood on the ropes and put the mask on himself and gave the crowd the finger. But Bandito came down with Templario, and they created a distraction. So Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight could just go after the Hurt Syndicate. And that was not, literally poor Bobby Lashley had to stand there for like 10 seconds looking at them like, hurry up, because Benjamin Shelton wouldn't turn around.
That was like, especially at the end, that was so weird where it's just like they were having a stare down for like a solid like minute and a half and nobody was moving and then nothing was happening.
Yeah, it was a little odd and especially that spot in the match, but match itself though wasn't bad at all. Then
you didn't mention it last week because apparently MJF's been wearing this for like the last week or two. But I have two questions for you. Question one, what do you think about the MJF just wearing the fucking MVP gear? Like, I know you mentioned it being like, red, white, blue and all of that, but man's just basically wearing the fucking MVP bodysuit. So that's why. And also, in addition to that, what do you think about the fact that they're seemingly doing disqualifications more and more often now? Because like there was a period of time where they just like never did it. Yeah. And now they've done it a couple of times in the last month or so.
Yeah, I think they're figuring out that it's a good way to further a storyline, and neither guy has to take a loss. And that's what WWE usually uses it for, and that's usually how it works out. Sometimes neither guy has to take a loss. You can still do the beatdown. You can still make both guys look really good with a DQ. I got no problem with it. I think there's been many a times where they probably could have used it a lot more and they just didn't. But MJF wearing the MVP stuff, he's in the Hurt business now. He came out like Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Should have come down to Living in America. Living in America.
I wonder what the rights fee would be used. I wonder if that's like on the cheaper side or the more expensive side.
I don't know. James Brown's song, probably not that much. He probably could have used it. That would have been cool, actually, to come down to Living in America. That would have been real. That would have been some fucking heel heat.
Have you seen that interview? Like, if you've seen it, then you know what that interview is. The fucking James Brown, I think it was CNN. He was just like, he brother was on the Ico Crow, something fierce.
Is that the one where he's just sweating?
Like they haven't even like they just start the interview and he's like fucking drowning in sweat.
Yes, I've seen. Okay, now I know the one you're talking about. Yeah,
He looks like the fucking Mad TV parody of like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, where they're just like fucking coked out of their minds.
I don't know. I'll just say no one did a better James Brown impression than Eddie Murphy. The best. The best.
That's crazy. I think.
Yeah, he did the best impersonation of him. But all right, we're almost wrapped up here, folks. We had the 4 million pesos high flying 4-way match, Mark. This was Hologram and Leo Rush. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Leo Rush is a joke, folks. He's a joke. An absolute joke. That's what he is. Comes down in a mask and takes it off. Oh, please. You aren't whatever you think you are. Whatever it is you think you are, you're not that. Hologram versus Leo Rush versus Ricochet versus Mascara Dorado. Thank God Hologram pinned Leo Rush to get this. I'm sorry, the guy's just a fucking joke to me. He's just a little tiny joke. If him and Roderick Strong came up to me in a dark alley, I'd laugh. Laugh. Even if Leo Rush had the mask on, I'd laugh. Fuck. Super Show. Super Show. Super Show. There. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. He gets the so he won the 4 million pesos, which I think is a couple $100,000.
I think it said it was like 212,000 American, something like
Yeah,
that.
like I said, around a couple $100,000. Close enough. Give or take a few pesos.
Because I asked Tony Schiavone what he would do with the money, so he was going to buy baseball cards, which the fucking dork.
Good answer, though. All right, so we had the CMLL Women's World Championship match. This was Zeuxis versus Mercedes Moné. I got to admit, I haven't seen much of Zeuxis before, but she got a little junk in the trunk. Kind of like Zeuxis's outfit. But
all do.
I can't believe they gave Mercedes another belt. She is the belt collector. She is the female Kenny Omega from a couple years ago. And I don't get it, but I don't have to. I did like after the match, we had this whole little Tony Storm and kind of this like Humphrey Bogart film noir style thing. And she said she was coming for Mercedes. And then Mina Shirakawa shows up on the ramp and just a distraction. Tony Storm shows up behind her in an all red jacket. Just everything Tony Storm does with this character just forwards it more. Just gives it another layer. And I just love it. I just love what she's doing with this character. I think it's a lot of fun watching her do this character. She looks like she's enjoying doing it, which makes it even better to me.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. So then we had the 10-man tag team main event. So we had Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Mordos, and the Young Bucks versus Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and the Ops. And Mortos actually was replacing Claudio in this match. Fun match. It really was a pretty fun match to end the show with. I enjoyed it. We had the of course, God forbid the baby faces win this match. No. Can't do that. So we had to have Moxley, Wheeler, and all those guys win this match. After the match, they kept beating down Swerve Strickland and the Ops. Well, Hangman came out to make the save. Him and Moxley are going at it. And Hangman went in to give Moxley a buckshot. And John Moxley walked right into the buckshot lariat. Took him out. Oh, I'm sorry. John Moxley was there. Matt Jackson is who ended up getting the buckshot lariat. Sorry, folks. Mm-hmm. That was it. Everyone was kind of looking shocked, and that was pretty much the end of the show.
Yeah, not a lot of promos. I mean, it's like you said. There's Mark Briscoe one that kind of played like picture like during the entrances, if I recall, but not a lot of promos. It's kind of interesting because, like we talked about last week, it was less than a month away from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, what happened to us? Oh, there we are. What happened there?
I don't know.
I came back. The whole screen was white. It was weird. Interesting. Yeah. But I thought that was a pretty good Dynamite coming out of Mexico last night. Thought it was a pretty fun show. And trying to think, we put a lot in this episode, so which would make it a super show.
Super show.
Absolutely. Super show, folks. Super show. All right. So I guess we can wrap this bitch up.
That's right.
I guess we can wrap this fucking show up. All right. So here we go. Smark, tell them.
You got it. Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Ted's Totally Inappropriate Team Sports. We had our season finale. It is the last show until, I believe, early September. The NFL season starts rolling around again. So go ahead and check us out. Check out the finale. Check out all the episodes that we've done over the last 5-6 seasons. It's all there, available for your viewing pleasure at Totally Inappropriate Team Sports, aka Ted's on the YouTube.
There you go. Check them out. I forgot you guys take a little hiatus at times. So, all right, cool. Cool. Very nice. I really wanted to do a Hollywood Hangout last weekend, but I got the new audio card, and I'm not going to lie, I had a few issues with it. Actually, I think I'm having some issues with it now. I think it's louder than my other. I upgraded my audio card, so I need to probably adjust some volumes and everything, and I'll get that going. I hope I wasn't too overmodulated tonight for anybody, but I will get back to doing the Hollywood Hangout very soon, if not this weekend. I'm going to try to do one this weekend, and we will be back here as always next Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Wrestling Outlet YouTube. So we will see y'all then. And thanks everybody for coming on in the chat. Thanks everybody that's going to download and listen however you do. And we will catch y'all next week. See ya.